Rape victims, we hear Secretary of State will receive enhanced support at various Crown courts. This is a new pilot scheme that you're launching today. So I think the idea is to drive up prosecutions and convictions. The last time we spoke, you were talking about that. Tell us what you're trying to do, and good morning to you.
Good morning. You're right. This is one of my very top priorities. We've seen in the last year the volume of convictions in rape cases increase by 2/3, but I'm restless to go further and faster. This is one measure we're taking, but there'll be 3 specialist courtrooms with enhanced facilities in areas with high volumes or backlogs of rape and serious sexual violence cases: Snaresbrook, London, Leeds, Newcastle. The courtrooms will be kitted out with pre-recorded video evidence capability. If you think about it from the victim's point of view, that will allow, where they choose to, them to give evidence without going through the glare of giving evidence in open court. There will be trauma-trained courtroom staff and independent sexual violence advisors to help and support those victims. I think it's morally the right thing to do, but it will also, as a matter of operational effectiveness, be critical in continuing that journey to drive up the volume of convictions, which is what I want to see.
To you, Mr. Raab. Well, driving up the number of prosecutions is absolutely essential, isn't it? Because the prosecution rate up to September 2021 was just 1.3%. So many people will be watching this morning and thinking this is very much overdue. And what you're talking about here is a pilot scheme. But what we really need to see, it's quite clear from those figures, is a full scheme in effect, not only in those 3 courts that you mentioned.
First of all, it's 3 courtrooms. Second of all, it's not right to describe the conviction rate in the way you did. The conviction rate in the justice system is normally taken, this is the way the CPS and others, as a proportion of convictions against cases brought. In fact, the conviction rate in the last year rose from 68 to 71%. But what that shows you is how critical it is to get those cases to court. The big thing that we're doing, which will make the biggest difference of all the measures, and there's about 8 policy levers that I'm working with the Home Secretary, the Attorney General, the DPP on, is what's called Operation Soteria. Effectively, it is encouraging the police and prosecutors to do 2 things. One, we want to avoid the finger pointing in relation to these cases and get them working more collaboratively together. Secondly, it's making sure the overwhelming scrutiny and rigour of the interrogation is on the suspect and it is not disproportionate in relation to the victim. We've rolled out in relation to a number of Crown courts, but the national rollout of Soteria, so that collaboration between police and prosecutors, will go nationwide by 2023, and it is the big game changer in what we're doing. But there are other things too, the specialist courtrooms, the disclosure rules. If you compare to 2010, the funding for victims of crime across the board will be quadrupled by 2024. So across all of these measures, I'm doing everything I can to give the victims, particularly the victims of rape, a better service so they've got confidence in the system, and also so that we drive up convictions.